This is the story of a man committed to making his community safer, only to be met with intimidation, harassment, and privacy violations by those sworn to protect it. Today, we'll uncover what happened to Franklin Payne. Franklin's ordeal began on June 7, 2024, while documenting public safety and ridership on the metro. LAPD Officer Dinse confronted him, and after a brief exchange, Officer Dinse began repeatedly announcing Franklin's name to the public.
Mr. Franklin Payne. Mr. Franklin Payne. Thank you, Mr. Franklin Payne. Mr. Franklin.
Are you? You playing with the wrong person. You fucking with the wrong person.
Mr. Franklin.
Watch you show up at...
What's alarming is that Franklin had never provided his name or any personal details to Officer Dinse. Where did this information come from? Officer Dinse had accessed it using his personal cell phone, which raises serious questions. Franklin was not a suspect in any crime, and this unauthorized access to his personal information was a clear violation of privacy. Franklin believes Officer Dinse may have accessed his identity through illegal means, such as fingerprinting or facial recognition scans. California Penal Code FAR 647J01 is clear. It prohibits such invasions of privacy. Yet, Officer Dinse chose to violate the law, highlighting deeper issues within the system meant to protect citizens. His misconduct didn't stop there. Officer Dinse skipped any legitimate identification process that would justify his actions. Why would an officer, sworn to uphold the law, act with such impunity? Just 3 days later, on June 10, 2024, Officer Thor went a step further. He publicly disclosed Franklin's private health information, revealing that Franklin had been to a hospital.
So you're gonna keep staging the name that I didn't give you, right?
You give that to me.
When did I give it to you?
You went to Hollywood Press.
When was this?
About a month ago.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
How are you 100% sure?
Because I saw you.
How are you 100% sure that it was me?
Because it was you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you arrested. And I was asking a question with the Metro Transit Security, and he said a name, and I asked him where he got the name from, and he started referencing a hospital, and that's HIPAA. And the thing is, he's saying that I gave him a name a month ago that I didn't give him today. Then he said it was at a hospital. Then if it's an incident, like say for instance in your situation, there's a conflict of interest. You got someone that you're in the military with, went to high school with, you don't know. But if someone that you didn't give your name to, either clear blue sky, is announced your name in a public setting, and then you're asking them and confronting that person about how they got that in their sense a month ago, reference, I'm sending this to the DOJ because that's called doxing someone. Because number one, if there's a conflict of interest or any other contact that we had previously, and I'm not addressing you, yourself, and I haven't addressed my name, I have the right to be anonymous, right? Right?
Yeah.
So he's basically violating that right because you just said it's a right. And you just said, yeah. And that's all the DOJ needs to hear. And then we go see the penal code. Bro, you're not in charge of the world.
This blatant violation of HIPAA not only breached federal law, but also compromised Franklin's personal safety. Another LAPD officer, Chichoyan, supported the harassment by taunting him and misusing authority, violating California Penal Code FAR 424, California Government Code FAR 19572, and infringing privacy rights under California Civil Code FAR 1798-53. These actions not only show a complete disregard for Franklin's rights, but also highlight a troubling pattern of misconduct within the department. Despite Franklin's attempts to report these violations, the harassment didn't stop. Officers Dinse and Chichoyan continued announcing his name whenever they saw him. On June 11th, Officer Gonzalez joined in, repeating Franklin's name over 15 times in retaliation for his simple request for a badge number.
What's your serial number?
What's my serial number? What do you want my serial number?
Okay, you don't want to identify. So you refuse to identify yourself, right? Okay, cool.
This isn't just harassment. It's a violation of California Penal Code FAR 653.2 and Penal Code FAR 647J1 concerning privacy invasion. But here's the question. Why are these officers targeting him? How did they get his personal information? To understand this fully, we need to go back to August 14, 2023, when Franklin first encountered Officer Dinse. Disturbed by the officer's aggressive behavior, Franklin recognized that he was witnessing misconduct and decided to take action. When Officer Dinse repeatedly asked for Franklin's name, Franklin stood his ground, knowing he was under no legal obligation to provide his identity. To address the situation, he filed an anonymous complaint against Officer Dinse through Officer Perkins. Fast forward to 2024, Officer Dinse accessed Franklin's personal details through his phone. When Franklin requested a supervisor, Officer Dinse lied to Officer Jordan, claiming he obtained Franklin's name from a past complaint. Franklin clarified that the complaint was anonymous, and he had never shared his name. This breach of trust not only endangered Franklin, but also raised serious concerns about how law enforcement handles sensitive personal data. Franklin Payne's story isn't just about one man. It's about systemic abuse of power and the need for accountability in law enforcement. His ordeal raises critical questions about privacy, the misuse of authority, and the need for transparency. As Franklin continues to fight for justice, his story is a reminder that no one is above the law, not even those enforcing it.